my mouth shut then. Right.
So it's a welcome to Billericay Cricket Club for the second semi-final of this under-19s competition between Saffron, Walden, Warriors and Wanstead and Snarebrook. Wanstead have won the toss and elected to bat, and that's Nav on strike.
It is. Which umpires?
Yes, it's no, it's Charles Osborne at the north end. It doesn't matter, I'm live score, so. And the bowler, who is the bowler? Stanley Leach to open the bowling. Go back into auto, and we're ready to roll.
That's our job done, that wasn't easy.
Stanley Leach to Nev Davili, who has hooked that round the corner for a single. Oh no, leg by. I thought he got something on that, but you'll see there, Scott, how I just flick between the cameras. Easy peasy.
As soon as the ball goes off the pitch,
yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, but you will see the lag build up as we go along a little bit. That is a wide ball. So you're all right, Pauline?
Yep.
Wide in.
Yep. I'm all right on the basics until something goes wrong.
Yeah.
It might go wrong, but I am learning how to correct it quickly.
Yeah. That's nicely played out to point, but no run. That's a fine hit by Nav for 4 runs.
That's Synod.
Oh, it's Synod. Oh yes, of course. Synod Balage has hit 4.
Mark, yeah, Mark's over there in the grey jumper with glasses.
Yes, I missed the leg by. So nicely pushed out for a single by Synod. Yes, we had a leg by off the first delivery.
No, I hate mice. Live and dead.
So,
I use this anyway, but when I'm doing with my pen and paper as well, I can hold my pencil in and I do it.
and we have a wicket. Okay. Now I've just gone as unknown for now.
That was out.
Yeah. We're not sure who the catcher was there. David, any chance you can identify the catcher for us, please? If you just score it as unknown for now, Pauline, because I'm going to show you how to do something in a minute. Because you're end of over.
Morley Jacob.
Thank you, Morley Jacob. So in the over.
Yeah.
Now what will happen now is collaborative scoring. Can you see we're identical?
Yeah.
Because we're both saying unknown.
Right.
Okay. So just close that down. Oh, we need to identify the new batsman first.
Husband.
So Harris Husband.
Harris Husband is going.
So if we, we need to confirm the bowler as well. We'll go back to edit that in a second because we need your bowler first.
Bowling.
Well, no, he's really, it could be Jay, but I thought he had blonde hair. This is the
the problem, because you're playing our sort of second 11.
Yeah, you don't know them.
No, I don't know them, because these are all kids I've never played, never.
Sorry, David, can you identify the bowler for us, please?
Ratcliffe, Jake Ratcliffe.
Thank you.
Here.
So, Jake Radcliffe is the bowler.
Got score of 7 for 1, haven't they?
Score is 7 for 1 indeed. So, officials today, David Swain and Charles Osborne umpiring. And Finarda's cut that square of the wicket for 4 runs. And scoring for Wanstead, we have Pauline Osborne and Darren Leach scoring for Saffron Walden. We much changed sides, so slight problems with player identification here. Dot ball. So next time we get him.
If he gets in, he's a very good bat.
That's firmly struck, but no run.
Tony keeps going on the head back using the mouse.
You don't want to be going out and coming back and through the
Yeah, I've got one in my bag actually, but I tend to.
Was that Naviel or
Yeah.
who got in now? Harris and
Harris Usman.
Finod's at the other end.
Yeah, they don't realise they're close over until they're
Finard's on strike, isn't it?
Finod's on strike,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you said the other end,
Sorry, as opposed to this end. Yeah, and Finod's
So-
got blue pads and Harris has got white pads on.
yeah, Finard Balaj on strike. Some games here. That's firmly pushed out to mid-on for a single.
Whoa, I would not say that. I would not say that.
This is where I check it's actually going out live.
What I need to devise, Scott, if I'm going to use the mouse, is something, because I'm doing it pen and paper as well normally, so I've got a basic record and
So, at the end of the second over, Wanstead have moved on to 12. And what will happen, again you see Pauline, scores identical, so just close it.
back down.
Yeah, now what we can do is if we go into ball by ball, if you go into ball... yeah, you got to identify your bowler. See what I mean? Same bowler, Stanley Leach. If you go into ball by ball and find ball 0.7,
Here.
yeah, ball 0.7, you've got to go,
Yeah.
right, that was Nav.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, we'll score it when we get a better break because we need to correct the catcher there. So that has two leg byes. Finland Balaj on strike. Yeah, we need to correct the
Yeah.
the
We can go back and do that.
yeah, we can go back and do it. Yeah, correct the catcher. Nice reverse sweep. And he went back there, didn't they? So just a dot. Pick a single up. So Scott, when it comes to corrections like that, you know, when I scored it as unknown, yeah. you need to do it, edit through ball by ball, because if, for example, John went undo ball and rescored it, he'll lose the clip. No, you'll lose the clip.
You lose the clip.
You lose the clip. Yeah, yeah. You don't realise that until it's happened to you. You know. So Stanley to Harris Usman and a dot. Yeah, that's how clips get lost.
Yeah.
You must. If you don't know, what I do is quickly score it as unknown, whether it's unknown catcher or unknown fielder, because if you edit it through ball by ball, it will retrospectively correct it on the. It'll retrospectively correct it on the video clips. So Stanley Leach bowling particularly well here. He's conceded 7 so far. Oh, dropped just short of the fielder. So end of the over. Wanstead after 3 have moved on to 15, so score's identical. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good if you're scoring with another scorer, but most of the time I haven't been.
No, that's the story of the season this year. So Jake Radcliffe to continue
and that's why I normally start match from fixture, because I do that from home and I put it in, so if there's a problem when I get there, I can do it locally,
Yeah.
and then when I get back onto internet,
Yeah,
I can
if you're the sole scorer, start match from fixture is correct. But if there's a home scorer, the home scorer would normally start match from fixture, set up, and then the second scorer would go as support, and then you get this lovely interaction between collaborative scorers. I mean, the plan is, once COVID's finished and what have you, I'll run some
excellent
courses and stuff to big woo-ha by Finod, but comes to nothing. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do some courses for basic scoring, and then another level for scoring with video. And
Yeah, because if the club's going to do it, and I mean we've got the camera and the club laptop and everything, but you really need to be confident in what you're doing with it.
we need confidence in basic scoring
So
for us.
you need to basically over
Yeah.
this winter just really get into it, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we can then work with Scott, and it's not all dropping on his shoulders for camera.
Yeah, yeah. Nicely played. Back with a point for just a single to Finod. Okay. Is it not? Oh, Scott's gone. So Wanstead here making a steady start.
That's not so easily. Not like him at all. And Harris hasn't got going at all yet, has he?
No, 0-5.
This kid used to play cricket for the school in Saffron, and gave up for his whole A-levels, and he's only played 1 game.
So just the one off the over. So scores identical. Lovely jubbly. That's really good, Pauline, that system, because you could easily have you score a bye, I score a leg bye, and it will throw up in red the error, and then scorers can agree what actually happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, something like that is not
I
material,
know
but
if I make a mistake on the ball that we've just had, I can go into edit, change it and edit and then start.
yeah, that's the
And
way
if
to
it's
do
on
it.
a previous one, then I can go back to it, highlight it, and then edit, change it, edit,
That's
start.
what we're going to do when
This
we
is
get
Stanley
to
again.
yeah, still Stanley Leach bowling to Finod Balaj, who tries a reverse sweep, and not sure whether he connected with that. No, it's a leg bye. I thought there was a pre-signal there.
Started a leg by every over.
I can't understand generally, not just ours, are so keen on these trick shots that get them out.
Yeah. Slight Dave away while Synod Ballage dresses himself again. And that is an edge for nothing. Stanley Leach here bowling particularly tightly. And there's going to be trouble here. And
Thinard's run out.
Thinard has managed to be run out. So wicket.
Yeah. Run out.
And it's got to be Thinard. Yeah, run out.
Yeah.
It's got to be Thinard. Because there are no runs, you can just fielder unknown for now.
Who was it?
Is it the guy who throws it in or the guy who knocks the
Right.
bails?
Well, the guy who knocks the bails off should be your primary fielder.
Okay, so that's Leach then.
Yeah, and then your assisted fielder. So Leach is your primary fielder, and the thrower in is Bertie Scott. Okay, well I'll do that in a minute on a correction. So new batsman is, who have we got? Pauline.
5.
Number 5 is Abdullah.
Abdullah. Okay, so I've got to correct that one. So Thinard Ballage, edit, was run out. Primary fielder who broke the wicket was
Unlucky
Stanley
Thinard.
Leach. Who was the thrower again? That was Bertie Scott. Okay, and edit, and that is now all correct on the live scores. Yeah, the new instructions to scorers is it's the person who breaks the wicket is the primary, and the thrower is it's a bit like an assist in football. So that should be Harry Sussman still on strike, and he has pushed that out into long on for
Oh, come on, boys. You're going to get another one out in a
Misfield
minute.
gives 2 runs.
It needs to be now. I've been wanting another.
So a slightly sticky start being made by Wanstead here. So end of the over, and we should all agree again. And scores identical. Lovely jubbly.
I assume this is going live on Play Cricket.
It's going live on Your Play Cricket.
That's handy because I'm driving to Penzance after this. So it wouldn't be done for a week. Well, it wouldn't be done till Friday.
No, it's live on both the Wanstead site and the Saffron Walden site. So shout out to the supporters of both clubs who hopefully are enjoying the stream. Should I suppose say I'm Phil Walsky, the Colchester scorer, who's acting as
Is this the same guy?
analyst and
Oh, this is Bertie Scott.
so change of bowling. Bertie Scott into the action, who starts with a dot ball.
Abdullah's facing.
Yeah. So Scott to Abdullah Akbar. And that has beaten the field, but yeah, only a single.
This is. I was in with our first 11 catches I scored for the ones on Saturday. But we never run the first one hard. So we miss out on quite a few.
That's very well struck, fielded though by the sweeper. Just a single, so just 2 off the over. And of the 6 overs, Wanstead have moved on to 21 for 2. As goes Pauline. So let's put a batting card up.
You never on 15 months. You only think of it, otherwise that element of gut removed from every runs. They'll be thinking about whether they want to go
Yeah, this is Stanley going to bowl again. He's going to bowl out.
So Stanley Leach currently 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 9, very economical. Certainly done his job here to bowl his final over. Harris Usman is the man on strike. And that's just pushed out to short cover where the ball is fielded, no run. And Charles Osborne, umpire, signals a wide. So 1 to the total. And that's firmly struck out to long off. Single to Harris Usman. Seriously overcast day considering what the weather was forecast. It's supposed to be sunshine across Essex, but again pushed out to long off for just a single. And again further single but out to point. Single to conclude the over. So Stanley Leach concluding now 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 14. Absolutely great bowling spell. 26 for 2.
26, 2 wickets, 7 overs. Abdullah's on 3 and Harris is on 5.
I concur with that.
And Bertie's bowling again.
So it'll be Bertie Scott from the pavilion end to bowl to Abdullah Akbar.
This is not Bertie Scott at all. This is
Henry.
Rodder, new bowler.
So 4 runs to Akbar. But you say this is not Bertie Scott.
No, this is Henry Rodder. I do apologise.
Okay, so that was actually Henry Rodder. You know to do that, Pauline?
Yeah, I've changed that.
Yeah, good. You know that.
That's one thing I know how to do.
So in fact, that's Henry Rodder. First ball gone 4-4. And his second ball has similarly received the same treatment, except it's going to be fielded and the batsman very leisurely jogged through for only 2. Yeah, I think you're right, Pauline. You watch the. I know my home club is Colchester, but they will run hard. You know, try and turn that into 3. And that is a very comprehensive castling of Abdullah Akbar's stumps, who is bowled.
Don't know who's coming in, I'll
So-
tell you when I see them.
Identify the new batsman, and then we will play a replay of that. So Zaray Saeed, do you reckon?
Could be
Oh, he's
Zaray
coming out.
Said. Yeah, that's Zaray.
So the incoming batsman is Zaray Saeed, and we'll throw in a replay for our viewers. Fairly comprehensive demolition of the stumps there by Henry Rodder. I mean, Pauline, do we change this earlier ball? It was the Nav's catch, wasn't it?
It was.
Ball 0.7. So if you find 0.7, okay, and you highlight it, edit, wicket, and change caught unknown to, who was it, Darren? First catch,
Catcher is Kit Morley Jacobs.
Kit Morley Jacob, okay, then click OK and then edit.
And then start ball.
Well, no, because you've done it all. You don't need to start ball. Sometimes it asks you to start ball, but if you don't the order I've just given you, it won't ask that. So Rodder to Saeed, who has pushed that out for,
Oh, come on, boys.
and we have it's absolute carnage out there.
He's off the mark and he went 2.
So
What in the bird's
they
name
managed to
are they
score
doing?
1, I think, after
They
all that
scored 2.
nonsense. Well, hang on.
Zaray's
Oh,
went,
yes, they've scored 2
they did score
because
2.
Saeed
He's on strike.
Saeed is back on strike. So utter chaos.
Absolute. I've never seen them so daft as this.
So anyway, 2 runs to Saeed. That could have been an easy 3. In fact, Zora Saeed, I think, ran 4 there because they got 2. Oh, no, and he went back, didn't he? I mean, he'd almost reached this end before. Anyway. And this time. Yeah. So that's 2 to Saeed.
He will push the score along if he gets in.
So at the end of the over, Wanstead have moved on to 36 for 3. It's on the Wanstead and on the Saffron Walden play cricket sites though.
Right, now who's going to bowl from that end?
So Stanley Leach, having bowled 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 14, has bowled out. So we need to identify a new bowler.
We don't need you to get so quite good at getting ourselves out.
So young fair-haired lad who's
James Wolf.
James.
so Darren Leach has identified James Wilson as the new bowler from the, I call it the town end,
9 overs in, we used 5 bowlers.
and he'll be bowling to number 3 Harris Usman. So the Wanstead run rate here merely 4.41 over, so Saffron Walden will be pretty content with that, I think. Harris Usman aggressively moves down the wicket, but finds a fielder. I don't know whether it's a bit slow out there, but in the first game there was a distinct shortage of boundaries. Commentator's curse as Harris Usman smashes it for 4.
If he gets going, he's a good bat, but
That's
he's not going yet.
half of the course for me. It's normally, comment about lack of 4s and they immediately smash one.
We'll keep talking about it.
So that's nicely played off his hip into the onside for a single to Harris Usman. That's just played out to point where it's fielded, but a single. End of the over. Wanstead have moved on to 42 for 3.
That's a bit better.
Yes, they have stepped up the pace a little bit. Something like Colchester in the first game. Colchester lost 3 wickets very, very quickly. 3 for 20, I think it was. Chasing down 100, but managed to do it without further loss of wicket.
A lot of these lads play together in the under-16 match play team, and they're very used to playing together. I've never seen 2 of them at the same end twice in the same game.
It's pushed out for a single, and that's gone for overthrows. So 2 runs to Zares Saeed. If you see there, it's a sports score there. If you look at mine, I point to it, you can see it shows that both of us are live together.
Oh, right.
That's we've got more fun and games. Overthrow, but doesn't come to anything. Just a single.
This game so far. See, the first game on this week was very low scoring, so you don't
It
know
was
whether
very low
it's
scoring.
the wicket or the players, do you?
And that's just pushed out to
No.
extra cover and
2 runs.
2 runs to Harris Usman.
They will put, if they don't get out, they'll push it along these 2 because they do run.
So that's top edged, but it's flown down to third man where batsmen take 2 and well backed up, not the greatest of throws. It's all right, Robbo? It's all very frenetic. So, joined by Ben Robinson of Colchester here.
Shot.
Nice shot
Not
for a
another
single.
one.
And talk me through your innings, Robbo.
Well, wasn't much to talk through, was there? Yeah, nice forward defence actually for my 1 run. It felt good out the middle of the bat, and then that's it. He bowled right, he was just bowling a little away.
He bowled very well, yeah.
When should you have gone?
So,
Shot.
and that is
Oh, no.
into space, but just a single.
first run out, that their opening batsman looked very good there.
Oh, Nav and Thinod, yeah, two very good players.
Yeah.
Two good sculpts for Saffron Walden to knock out.
Yeah.
Don't need to. Saffron Walden to get us out. We can help ourselves.
No coffee or anything, obviously.
I wouldn't mind a cup of tea, Ben, if you can find me one. That'd be. Do you want to drink it, either you two?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Bill.
So James Wilson to continue from what I call the town end. Not sure what the official name is. Football at ground end. Narrow lane to Billericay Cricket Club end. And slight delay while Zorad Saeed dresses himself again, pulls his gloves back on. And a stumping attempt, some fast hands, but umpire David Swain says no.
Feet were stationary.
Quick bit of work by Max Wiseman, keeping wicket for Saffron Walden. And a wide ball is signalled. So James Wilson also bowling economically here. Not many runs conceded from that end. And that's firmly driven out to long on for a single. This game following a similar pattern to the first game, a distinct shortage of boundaries. Thanks, Robert.
No milk.
Oh. Thanks. So, just brought a cup of tea, told we've run out of milk, so I'm going to have to go on a beer, I think. Dot. Not sure what he got on that, if anything. 2 buys. So he got no bat involved. Driven firmly, but no runs. So score is 55 for 3. Worth putting up the bowling card. Just while I restart the cameras to get a bit of lag out the system.
Stopped, okay. Right, it's stopped.
So to return at the pavilion end, it's Bertie Scott, currently 1 over, no maidens, 2 runs, no wickets. The number of spectators at Billericay increasing by a minute, and that's dug in short but cut out to the point boundary, and Zorad Saeed picks up 4 runs. Turn around the corner for a single.
He hasn't signalled a leg by, so
Yeah, I think he must have put a bat on that. There was no umpire signal, so. And that is cut backwards of point, and that's going to go all the way for 4 runs to Harris Usman. So 9 conceded off the first 3 balls of this over.
confused with the days of all this cricket.
It's like the coldest bank holiday Monday, August I've ever been on, I think. I've known horrendous rain on a bank holiday Monday, but this is more like April.
Miserable.
It's like April, isn't it? So a single there to Harris Usman. Very overcast and cloudy. Didn't quite get hold of that. But turned it back with a square. Where hesitant running again, but they do make 2.
Crazy running, boys.
Pauline, they're not running very well at all, are they?
Not at all.
It's got the laces tied together, I think.
I just don't think they've got their heads on.
But that is into between 3 players, no man's land, where they pick up 2. So Wanstead move on to 69 for 3 off 12 overs. Lots of noise and excitement from the other pitch where the under-14 second semi-final is taking place. Did Wanstead get through, Pauline?
No, they were beaten by a much better team on the day.
Oh, right.
Loughton.
South Loughton, so
Excellent.
South Loughton are through to the
Yeah, they deserved to
under-14s final.
We played well, but we just wasn't a match for them.
So Wilson to Usman, and that's a wide ball, signalled by umpire Charles Osborne. That's pushed out into the deep cover for a single. It's very similar to the Colchester innings. This Colchester lost 3 wickets very quickly and then dug in, and the reverse sweep, and he gets away with it.
I wish he wouldn't do that. He gets out like that most times.
We have 2 runs
Who to
to Surrey Said. And that's, I think, is off the pad. Oh, it must have been a bit of bat in that. Umpire's not signalled anything, so a single. Brings Harris Usman back on strike. And that's firmly pushed square over the wicket. Batsmen go for 2 and got to hurry. And they just make it.
living dangerously out there.
I think it may be described as some kamikaze running we've seen today. That one was well judged. Somebody sat on the sight screen, wobbling my camera. Driven firmly to long on for the single.
I don't think it makes a difference. Like, I don't have any kids playing in this, so although I want my team to do well, it doesn't have the same effect as if we've got son or daughter or whatever playing.
So it was a relief
sweep brings nothing. So 13 overs gone. 77 for 3. Run rate of 5.92 and over. If Wanstead continue at this rate, they'll hit 118. At 6 and over, 119, and 8 and over, 133. So
Again, now they're bringing Radcliffe back, number 2.
change of bowling
Jake.
is Jake Radcliffe.
2 overs for 6 runs.
So far, 2 overs, no maidens, 0 for 6. Oh, it's the wrong bowler.
Yeah.
So who have we got?
Jacobs.
Kit.
Kit Morley Jacobs. Correction. By,
And he's bowled into Harris, isn't he?
yeah,
Bowler number 6.
corrected by my colleague scorers. No numbers on the shirt, so players I don't know. So Morley Jacobs to Usman, and that is a shot that's gone straight down the ground, scatters the fielders, 6 runs.
That,
In
if he
fact,
gets in, is what he's capable of doing.
worthy of a replay.
Most of these are under 16 or under 17.
Hopefully there'll be enough time to show this replay before the next ball. Cracking
We've had
shot.
a few more under 19s, but we lost 2 of them, so that Essex game.
So back live. That 2 is nicely played down the ground to long off, and the batsmen take 2. So 8 off the first 2 balls of this Kit Morley Jacob over. Wanstead starting to step up the pace a bit. And played at 2 point for a single.
Just happened to be on Saturday night. Just sold the last one, sir.
What does Kit stand for, or is it just Kit?
Square the wicket for a single.
Kitchener.
Kit's a name that's been around for a long time. Kit Carson, for example. Cowboy. Kit Kat.
Kit the car out of Night Rider.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wasn't named after a car.
Could be.
But square the wicket for a single.
Nice shot for a single. Good fielding.
Yep. Good job he wasn't called Puncture. Be a puncture kit.
Yeah, 1 ball to come.
11 off the over so far indeed. 1 to come. It's pushed square of the wicket off his hips. And Saeed takes 2.
That's the over.
End of the over brings a score of 90 for 3 off 14. So James Wilson to continue to Harris Usman. Wilson bowling from the town end. Usman 34 off 35, near runner ball. played out to point for single. And Said advances down the wicket, drives it out to extra cover for single. Somebody sat on the side screen. That's firmly struck out to long off for a further single. Reverse sweep brings only a single. And similar to the first semi-final, lack of boundaries here.
Yeah, you've done that.
Not been a lot of boundaries. And just to prove me wrong, Harris Husman attempts to get it to the boundary, but it's picked up and only two. So 5 overs to go. 96 for 3. Wanstead run rate now 6.4 and over. So getting more to where they'd wish to be. I would think Wanstead.
Who's come back hit?
I think Saffron Walden are fairly content with this. Still Molly Jacob? So Kit Morley Jacob, a bit expensive in his previous over, 1 over, no maidens, 0 for 13, going to continue. And that's gone skyward and right in the gap. So the batsman just managed a single. A lot of excitement there. Well, looked as though it might be going to the forwards the fielder, but just dropping short. And pushed out to extra cover. Batsman going for 2 and make it, but nobody backing up.
The race is flat on the floor.
Yeah. Driven firmly down to long off for a single, bringing up the Wanstead 100 in 15.3 overs and 53 minutes.
Needs to step it up a bit now.
And that's well struck square of the wicket, but sweeper picks it up and only a single.
Oh, what are you doing?
Not quite sure what Harris Husman was trying there, but
I wish they would stop trying this stupid trick shot.
pay off. Much more economical over so far from Morley Jacob here, and maybe even a wicket. So Harris Usman has been caught by, anybody help me out? Caught by Stanley Leach. Batsmen have crossed, and yet again a wicket's fallen on the end of an over. Harris Usman is caught by Stanley Leach.
How many runs did he have?
41 or 43. So a decent contribution. Strike rate of 95.
Who's going in?
Yeah, who is this? Yeah, I haven't got this player.
6, that's Tom.
Tom Bentley.
Tom Bentley.
So the incoming batsman is Tom Bentley.
That's Tom.
Is he on your list of numbered players?
I haven't got his number, no. I know it normally is, but...
This fellow will know, isn't he?
That's Tom, isn't it, gone in? Yeah.
Well batted, mate.
Yeah. So who we got bowling?
Tom Bentley's gone in.
Oh, yeah, it's the end of the over.
It's the end of the over as well.
He always bats in a 6 shirt, but he...
Scores 101 for 4.
And the bowler. Let's have a look. It is. Boys, mate, mine's up. Who's bowling? What's going on here?
Well, it can't be James Wilson, who has bowled 4 overs, no maidens, north of 22.
This looks like Jake
And back to Jake Radcliffe.
from the other.
So Jake Radcliffe coming on at the town end. Currently 2 overs, no maidens, 0 for 6. Very economical. I've not had a chance to throw a replay of that in, because in fact I will attempt to throw a replay in while the bowler marks his run up. Should just have time to conclude this replay, including taking of the catch. So back live again, it'll be Jake Ratcliffe to Tom Bentley, facing his first delivery, and that's a wide and a buy as well, or 2 wides in old money. And that is sliced over to third man, whereas the fielder picks up and just one. And Tom Bentley swings and misses.
Yeah, most of them played last year.
Got to the end of my hook. Oh, hello.
And that's gone straight up in the air, and that is caught and bowled by Jake Radcliffe. So Tom Bentley is caught by Jake Radcliffe. Batsmen have crossed. So a further wicket has fallen. New batsman coming in is number 30, Harith Wajid. Waja. Is that how you
No,
pronounce it?
Harris Wajid.
Wajid. Harris.
Not Harris was.
Oh no, yeah, Harris Wajid.
Yeah, Harris Wajid.
Incoming batsman is Harris Wajid. Apologies for the mispronunciation.
3 balls to come.
Can have a little look at that.
These are all around 16
3 balls this over to come. Batsman cross, so Zoraz Saeed is on strike. Jake Radcliffe the bowler. And swing and a miss.
Tom got caught and bowled. Did Harris have a number? Harris was 30. Harris, yeah, but it's Harris Roger who hasn't.
It's handy, isn't it?
And that's driven out into the covers for a single. Bring in Harith Wajid on strike. So Wanstead 5 wickets down. 3 overs and a ball remain of this innings. So looking here to set a target of round about 125 at the current rate. That's cut backward a point where it's well fielded. Batsmen take 2. So at the end of the over, Wanstead have moved on to 107 for 5 off 17. And if they continue at this rate, they will score 126. 8 and over would get them 131. So I guess they're looking to set a target of greater than 131. He bowled the previous over, didn't he, Jacobs? So he's continuing. Yeah. So Kit Morley Jacob, 2 overs, no as 1 for 18 to continue from the pavilion end. Well fielded by the bowler.
Joshua, I'm going to need some more buns.
And that's finally firmly hit, but falls short of the fielder. And only a single. Firmly pushed out to long on, but just a single.
We need to push this on a bit with only 2 overs left.
That's aerial, but down to long on, and the batsmen make it back for 2. Yes, distinct shortage of boundaries, Pauline.
Certainly is.
Distinct shortage of boundaries. Big pitch though. Well, boundaries, that is. Using the whole of the playing area pretty well here. And that's gone aerially out to extra cover. Picked up, so again restricted to a single.
At least we got off 111.
Indeed, past Nelson. Pauline 2 feet off the deck here. Or is that because your seat's too high? Turn off his hips.
Straight off to the fielder.
Again, finding the fielder, just single. So 2 overs remaining. Wanstead 113 for 5.
How many times it has gone to the field? I don't know whether it's genius captaincy or just luck.
I think it's a case of very large pitch down, and maybe a bit of moisture on the grass as well.
On a
And
bigger pitch,
you'd have bigger gaps. You've got bigger gaps on a larger pitch, but you've got to hit it harder. If you only push it.
Look, who's this? Yeah, it's right.
Yeah. So bowling the final over from the town end. It will be Jake Radcliffe. 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 12. So he can be very content with his performance. Let's see what Harith Wajid can do. And he has. Oh, it's been dropped.
You've got a single.
So he picks up a. Indeed, he picks up a single. Fairly straightforward catch put down there. And he's got same fielder has another chance, but too far away. So 2 to Saeed. And a further drop catch. 2 runs to Saeed. Living dangerously here.
Should have lived dangerously the whole innings.
About 39 off 32, only 1-4 in that. Illustrating what I was saying earlier about shortage of 4s. That's push square of the wicket for another single. So he moves into the 40s. Remarkable here, 40 off 33 deliveries with only 1-4. So done a lot of running. Another attempt. And was that dropped?
No, well.
It went over his head. 2.
Is that 2?
2.
Yep, 2 to
2 to Harris.
Harith Wajid. So 8 off this penultimate over so far. And that will be a further single to end the over. So Wanstead 122 for 9, 1 over remaining. I suspect Saffron Walden might be the slightly more content here, from my neutral perspective.
Morley Jacob.
Darren Leach scoring here, shaking his head. So Morley Jacob, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 24 to finish off, bowling to Harith Wajid, who strikes that out into the covers, well fielded for a single. So Zora Saeed should be eyeing a 50, I'd have thought here, though only 1-4 in his 40 so far, but no, he's just pushed that for a single, chased by the bowler. Sensible cricket actually. 2 runs. Nobody actually in that vicinity, so the bowler having to field it himself. Four deliveries remaining. wide ball. Just a slightly late signal.
Perhaps he's waiting to see whether Harry's got run out.
Well, we had that Saturday at Colchester. We had needed 4 off the last ball, and the lads run, and the signal came fairly late for the wide. It's 1. Batsmen take 2. And managed to run themselves out on the last ball. And
We had 3 balls left. We needed 3 runs, and Robin was on 75 and got stumped off a no ball, off a wide.
And that's pushed out too long on, and yet again they're going to go for 2 and make it.
Harris is quite fast.
So 2 rules remaining. Soros Saeed 4 from a 50. 46 off 36, so an excellent strike rate, but surprisingly only 1 4 in that.
Hit a 4. Get your 50.
Very nice to see him get a 50. He's batted well, and he's not going to. He's going to get 2, so he's going to at least another go at it. So he picks up 2, moves him on to 48. So 1 delivery of this innings remaining.
And Therese is on 48.
I did say 130 was about the rate we were going to see here. And very well bowled, and they're just going to get a single, and 49 not out of 38. So we're now going to have a short interval while the change of innings. So at this point I will close the commentary and just show some batting and bowling cards, and we'll be back in 10 minutes or so. So welcome back as we get this second innings underway. Bertie Scott and Harry Gallion open the batting for Saffron Walden. Harris Raza opening the bowling for Wanstead, and he starts with a wide. And that's been bludgeoned and a no ball as well. So a no ball. Did that go for 4?
Yeah.
He's not signalled 4. David, was that 4? Thank you.
So that's
A no ball plus 4.
no ball plus 4.
So you're over here. Yep. Okay. No ball and 4 runs. Followed by a free hit. Shows the handiness of the radio, so that doesn't it? Because David obviously missed the signal. And that's gone similarly a long, long way down for. Oh, he's picked that up. So just 3 on that occasion. So Harris Raza getting a bit of stick this first over. 2 legitimate balls and 9 runs so far. Better delivery for a dot. Pushed out to point for a single to Harry Gallion. Darren, you say Harry is Jason's son.
That's correct.
So if Jason's listening, big shout out for Jason, Felsted School. Fine cricketer, of course, himself. Done a lot of work with Jason on video.
That's over.
Yep, so
11. Right, the other end. Well, I think it's Harith Majid because he's got the ball in his hand, but just give me a minute because there's 3 of them together.
Yeah, big chap. Look, number 30.
It's Harith Majid.
So, Harris Rajid to bowl from the town end. So, a particularly good start by the Saffron Walden Warriors. Ball into Bertie Scott. Harith Wajid.
It's Harith Majid.
It's pulled out too long on for just a single to Bertie Scott. And a quick single. Just dubbed into where a slip might be.
And sometimes if you leave later, there's less traffic, or if you leave really early or really late, you miss a lot of the traffic.
So pushed out to mid-on. 30 Scott moves on to 10. That's gone aerial, but it's got over the fielder's head. Yep. So end of the over. The Saffron Walden side have moved on to 16 for no wicket off 2. And Billericay Town Football Club chanting has now started. So
Okay, I think we probably will change his bowling. Let me see who's got the ball.
a noise coming over from the other side of the fence. Not sure who Billericay are playing
Take
today.
his cap off. So it's Tom Bentley.
So change of bowling at the pavilion end. Tom Bentley,
A little trotting pony.
who will be bowling to Bertie Scott. Still very overcast conditions here. Not a hint of blue sky. So broadcasters have lied again about the weather. Certainly not as predicted. So Bentley to Scott, who has hit that long and far for 4 runs. Just noticed a little bit of lag on the camera, so we'll have a restart. Back live again with Bentley to Scott, who I'm not sure. Oh, that's leg buys, I think. It's 4 leg buys indeed. Free signal from umpire David Swain.
Wind's getting up again.
It's distinctly chilly. Swing and a miss, but a wide ball. So Saffron Walden here going on at over 10 and over. Required rate merely 6.17, so well ahead at this stage. That's on the punts. Muted appeal, but umpire decides not out. It's firmly driven down the ground where it's going to be cut off, but the batsman take 2. So already 11 off this over. So Saffron Walden going along at a steady rate of over 10. And that too has gone aerially to long on for A single. And that's a lovely shot. Shot of the day, probably, that one. But it won't quite make it. But the batsman will make 3.
Lovely shot.
So, end of 3 overs, 31 for no wickets. Required rate just hovering on or about a run a ball.
It's Harris still.
Will be Harris Wajid to continue.
Bowling 2.
Harris Wajid so far 1 over, no maidens, 0 for 5. To Harry Gallion, who sensibly dubs that for a single. Nicely played to point for a single to Birdie Scott. Just turned backward a square for a single.
Sending me pictures of bright blue skies and sunshine yesterday.
I have 2 more days of cricket and that's me finished.
For the season, I've got second 11 at Chelmsford on Saturday, and on score for the ones on Sunday in the Duke's Cup final, and then that's me finished as well.
A wide ball.
And then I shall just keep practising this on the NB over the winter. What I've been doing is putting short games in and then coming up with all scenarios that I can think of.
Yeah,
need
if
to
you
practice.
if you want to practice, there is the Northern versus
Yeah,
Southern
that's what
game.
I've been
Yeah,
doing.
that's what I do. Or how I learned to do it. I'm not sure where. Oh, I went to the keeper, missed it completely.
Getting a bit dismal out there.
So you've been going to score for the second team away. John's been scoring at home.
John's been refusing to go away.
I'll go away full stop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically.
right. Yeah, that's caused a lot of grief, a lot of discontent amongst scorers at other clubs. I make that the end of the over.
I'll make it 2.
36 for no wicket off 4. Yeah, we've had issues where there's been 3 clubs not sending away scorers, and people like myself scoring on their own, and then a lack of cooperation, from players, coaches, and whatever else. As you know yourself, if you're scoring on your own, if everybody's walking around the pitch on the other side of the pitch, and you can't identify players, it's very difficult.
He's just turned up for home games. I mean, Jigs has asked me to do the T20s and the one days anyway, and I've been doing the under-19s and the under-16s, but we've got a change of bowler here. This is Thinod.
So the ball from the pavilion end, Thinard Balaj,
Yeah, they're not balancing.
to bowl to Birdie Scott. Well, I'm encouraged that you're taking this up because there's 4 or 5 of us who have scored 120 overs entirely on our own, and it's not fun.
Well, I went.
Particularly if you're trying to do,
I did
video
Chelmsford
commentary
for
and
the ones
everything.
last week, and I did the week before went to Brentwood.
Oh, that looked a decent delivery, but it's buys. 4 buys, good enough to beat everything.
We'll get this season over, and then we just need to sort ourselves out.
Yeah.
I'm like a pig in the middle at the moment.
Oh, dropped him.
No, it was bump ball, Denny ball, that one.
Hit the ground.
Big swing and a big miss. Just realised that first ball was actually 4 buys, wasn't it?
It was.
I've scored as 4 runs, so I have to correct that. That's nicely turned square, and that's gone for 4 off the bat. So that first ball is edit. 4 buys, edit. So that's now corrected. Actually, I should have left that in to show you at the end of the over how it would have come up on
Yeah.
collaborative scoring, because it would have shown line as red. You haven't scored 4 buys. Me haven't scored as 4, and I go into it and just going this. But easy mistake. We all make occasionally. Again, that's a leg by this time.
1 leg by.
In fact, I've just realised it was leg buys at the start, wasn't it, or was it buys?
It was buys.
It was indeed
Yeah,
buys.
4 buys, and then that was 1 leg by.
Yeah, okay. I did do it correctly. Score's identical. 45 off 5. Steady 9 and over. Saffron Walden going along here. Required rate only 5.93. So it's getting to the point where Wanstead need to take some wickets.
Right, sort yourselves out. Who's taking the ball?
It's Nav, isn't it?
I think it's Nav. He's got the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nav. That's Nav.
So, change of bowling at the town end. Nav ready.
Oh, here we are. 6 bowler used, I think, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the
Yeah.
uppers.
And that's firmly driven out, half stopped in the covers, and a single to Birdie Scott. And a single to Harry Gallion. Lots of noise coming from the other pitch. Lots of excitement amongst the under 14s. Very little noise now from the football ground, so I wonder if they're losing. Not sure who Billericay Town are playing today. The game of, and that has been lobbed up, and that's Nav didn't quite get hold of that. Not sure whether that was a catch.
I think it would have been amazing if it was.
It would have, yes, it would have been difficult.
Really.
And this one's driven out. And has that gone for 4? It has gone for 4.
I don't know what Paddy's doing out there. He's probably the slowest person on that field. He's only come in because we're too short this morning. And they've put him out there.
So Saffron Walden, after 6 overs, have moved on to 51 for no wicket.
I think this is, yeah, Thinard's taken his hat off, so it's Thinard again.
Thinard Ballard to continue. Collaborative scoring, so reassuring though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's working, it's lovely. 50 partnership.
Particularly when they don't tell you who
It's T20.
they're bowling. Yeah.
Just get a platter of wickets and
Single to Harry Gallion. I scored a Essex under 18 game here a few weeks ago where a wicket fell. A wicket fell on the next ball, which was a run out off a no ball, just to complicate it. That's going to be a no ball, I think. And that's a no ball and 6 runs to Bertie Scott. And as I was saying, it was a wicket followed by a run out off a no ball, just as the opposition coach put his head round the window to say, by the way, the guy that's in and now out is not who I said it was. I've changed the batting order and I'm in despair, so I go undo ball rather instead of edit ball, and then I get a complaint later, well, have you got the video clip? And of course I've lost it, but what could I do? So I think that's gone far enough for me to be able to play a replay of that for our viewers.
I think they've lost the ball.
It's either that or
Oh, it's
broken the
smashed
windscreen.
into a car.
Oh dear.
if it's not mine, if it's gone through the windscreen, I'll have trouble getting the ball out.
If it's gone through the windscreen, you'd have thought the alarm would have gone off. So,
It's set. Mine's over there, so that's all right.
I tried to get mine in the far corner under some tree cover.
as an official, you could have parked here.
Because I looked at this. Oh no, they had some guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have said you were an official.
Only. Should have said you were
Yeah.
I obviously didn't
scorer.
look very official.
Officials are allowed to park up here.
Official or officious?
Well, that might have been the case, but
We've parked over there before when I wasn't scoring.
I
but
drove in and just thought, oh my god, with some of
Yeah.
our times, this is going to be
So 59
quick fit.
is the score, and this is going to be a free hit, isn't it?
no, I just drove up.
Or is it free hits only after front foot mobiles? I
And
can't
then they
remember
came
what
up
the
and I
regulation
just
is
said
here.
I want to score. And they said, fine, park here.
If he keeps hitting them, I'll
Right, it's indeed a free hit. I'm never sure whether what the regulations are on that. So thin odd to Bertie Scott, who has nice little pirouette as Snyder hit on the pads, and Thinard optimistically, bearing in mind it was a no ball appeals. Umpire David Swain says don't be silly. It must have been half time, I think. And that's driven down to sort of deepish mid wicket for a single. So still 74 required.
What for? Who for?
Oh, yes, no interlude, and that is a run out. So that's Harry Gallion has fallen.
Right, so was that the first? So that's just wicket.
Yeah, so Harry Gallion was run out. I'm not sure who the thrower was. Did you spot who the thrower was?
Run out, no.
Okay, well, we're just going to put unknown for that for a moment then.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the.
So Harry Gallion has run out. The batsmen have crossed, but we end the ball with no runs.
So the next batsman for us is James Walden.
So James Wilson, you said, Dan?
Yeah.
James Wilson will be the incoming bat. I'll try and play a replay of that and we'll see who worked out who threw what and when and how.
Wanstead, yeah. Wanstead.
So the wicket was broken by Thinod.
Drew, do you know who threw that in? Thank you. Incoming batsman, did you say was James Wilson? Thank you.
Well, we know the primary fielder who broke the wickets was Thinod, so I'll put Thinod in for now. So that's Harry Gallion on strike. Oh no, tell a lie, no it isn't, it's Bertie Scott on strike, Bertie Scott on strike, because I hadn't completed my edit. And he's got two, and James Wilson at the other end. So end of the over, wicket fallen 62.
Thank you. We think it's Tom Bentley.
Okay, well we're gonna disagree here at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but it's only on the run out scorer, so we need to find out who that is. Just close it for now, Pauline,
Okay.
and we will correct that. I know Thinod broke the stump, so I've put him in as the primary fielder, having broken the stumps the way we're supposed to do it. So 62 for 1 off 7 should be James Wilson on strike.
I think this is Nav again.
Nav again bowling. Yeah, I recognise
Yeah,
Nav.
it's Nav.
I score. I probably score Nav more often on more days than you actually. Because I, scoring Essex under 18 games and stuff. Often there's not their 3-day games, so I get 3 days for the price of your one. To Wilson. So Wanstead needed that break in the. Yeah,
Yeah.
all up to date. 7 gone. It's not saying 7, is it? Really? It's not refreshed. Okay, let's refresh all scoreboards. Sometimes does this with this machine. Was that a further dot?
It's a dot.
So 2 dot dot, yeah?
2 dot.
2 dot.
Or just 2 and dot?
I've
Yeah.
got 2 and dot.
Just pausing to refresh the scoreboard there. One single. Is that now? It's refreshed now. Just sometimes this scoreboard here, the wireless doesn't go, but it'll refresh as soon as it's pressed again.
does takes a long time when there's more people there
Yeah.
on internet and things. Yeah, thank you. Tom. Thank you.
So 1, 2. Trying very hard to rule themselves out.
The right thing there.
Yeah.
Trying to push it a bit.
It just came out of the blue a little bit. I thought it was going to be a single all day. That's why it took me out.
So
So what did, was that just one for that
well,
last one?
yeah. Well, no, it's a 1. So you got if you want to do ball there. Well, I'm a ball short.
light.
I'm a ball shy. Short.
I'm definitely.
I've scored that 2.1.1.
Correct.
So you need to put a 1 there, Pauline.
Right, yeah, it's the last ball. So,
So,
if I
well,
edit that,
If you want to do,
put 1,
yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah.
and then
Edit again to
edit
close
again,
it, and then
and then
no, hit on that button there. Yeah,
yeah,
and you want
Put one shot.
end over.
end
End
on.
over. That's
I've never done that
Who's
before.
bowling here? Dot ball, whatever it is.
Minute.
so it was definitely a 5 ball over that.
Turn down, mate. That's Harry Swalser again.
Sorry, Harris Wajid, yes.
No, Harry's
The other Harris.
Number 1.
Harris
Harris.
Usman, number 3, and he a single to Scott.
So it's dot the first ball.
Dot 1 so far.
Dot.
And this is where scoring on your own, we'd have absolute chaos now, wouldn't we? Took 3 of us to work out who was doing what and
Working
when.
out who was the bowling, it was the one short.
Yeah. You've got to have 2 scorers, in my opinion. Certainly for a game
I
of this
think it should
importance.
be.
I think T20 you've got to have 3 scores.
Struck out to deep cover for a single. .68 for 1 off 8.3. So the run rate dropping a bit here. Just a single. There's certainly been some poor running today, both games.
It's now for 1 off 9.
What's the same?
Same as I said before.
50 still.
How do you score that one?
How do I?
No, was it a dot to start with?
Yeah, dot 1, dot 1, dot 1.
Okay. This will differ.
So who's going to bowl?
Yeah, I will check that when we get to the end. Well, we both agree 6-9 for 1.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah,
Bentley, isn't it?
yeah.
From the other end?
One of us, no, it's me. I think I scored the first one a 1, and you scored a 0. So we've got the same content.
Yeah, I had it as
Yeah.
a dot the first one.
Yeah, it could have been me, Pauline, but we've got the same content,
I'm
and
gonna-
it's to the same
So I'll
batsman.
close
So
that,
yeah, just close it.
and I think it's Tom. Oh no, wait a minute.
Number 6 about.
Yeah, no, it is Tom.
So Tom Bentley to
Yeah.
bowl to Bertie Scott.
Don't look so cold out there.
So that was over 9. We need to check. And that's beaten everybody, and
It's
that
going to be
is
5 wides.
a wide and 4 with it. So 5 wides and old money.
So we were called last week in the southwest Scotland. I'm living in Shorts.
In Scotland.
Or we in Scotland. Never
This is just
known
ridiculous.
anything.
The world's tipped on its head, though, hasn't it?
My uncle's a farmer. He said that they're verging on a drought. driest summer in 40 years. I was thinking we're back at.
We can give you some rain if you want.
So most of the cricket matches that got rain must only played
1
65% of the game.
to Scott.
It seems to be, doesn't it, that it's okay or nice during the week, and then you get to Saturday and it's raining.
It'll change now because
Kids are back.
for the first time in years a hurricane has smashed into the US. It's been such a long time since you've had US hurricanes, and of course if they miss the United States they come across the Atlantic and we get wet.
Okay, I think that's good for us, is it?
Well, if they smash into the United States they lose all the force.
Well, I'm sick of
and
COVID,
it's-
so
and that's
sod it, we're
what's-
going to COS on the 9th of September.
It's changed. How was that not out? On to Wilson. So when we get to the end of the match, we need to change that batsman from the first innings, don't we? And I need to correct that one over.
Change the batsman.
Yeah, that Patel was wrong, wasn't it? We got the wrong Patel. It's easy to do it in the book. It's much more difficult on a computer.
If you'd have answered me in the first place, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. The only thing is I can't change it on the screen. If I'm given the wrong batsman, I haven't got a chance of correcting it. So, halfway stage, 10 overs gone, 76 for 1, so just 58 required. Run rate required now 5.8, just under a run a ball.
Smashed it. Another one smashed a bit. Yeah.
This is Harris Raza again. Harris Raza. He plays for the Tooth, so I know him.
But the previous over at this end was Harris Husband, wasn't it?
No, it was Harris Raza.
Oh, both of them.
Dot ball.
Dot ball.
With spins to Wilson as well.
And that's caught.
Right, Wilson is out and it's caught by Nav.
And there we are. So I can do some sort now as soon as we identified the incoming batsman. It's Stanley Leach to come.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Stanley Leach.
Okay, I've made an error here. So over number 9 was actually bowled by not Harris Usman,
No, Harris Osman didn't bowl it, it was Raza.
it was Raza. So I need to edit.
Yep.
2 Harrises, Harris Raza.
We've got 2 Harris and 1 Harris.
So
The young man this end is now using somebody else's bat, or do you have another one?
So I'll just check, Pauline. Over 9 was bowled by Harris Raza.
Yep,
Over 10 was bowled by Bentley.
yep,
And this is Harris Raza again.
again.
Yeah. Yeah, I put in the wrong Harris, not knowing the player. But corrected now. So it'll be Harris Raza, and you say this is Stanley Leach. So Harris Raza to Stanley Leach. Put my teeth back in. And dot wicket dot. Who tries a reverse sweep and
Somebody else trying stupid shots.
doesn't come off.
This will be stupid. This will remember stupid central. They'll have all sorts of nonsense.
Is it right he's broken 2 bats today? Broken 1 bat. Oh, as long as only breaking bats, not breaking hearts, eh? That's firmly struck down the ground for a single. So, Wanstead fighting back here, just 1 off the over.
Okay, what we doing
So,
now?
77 for 2.
3 of them round.
3. Yeah, the reason I didn't pick up that change of bowler there was I was out on that first ball, so it wasn't obvious.
Nobody seems to be bowling.
No,
Number 3 maybe?
big debate. It looks like number 3, which is
Surprised me, that's Harris Usman.
Harris Usman. And it is Usman this time,
Harris Usman.
who I thought had bowled the previous over, but never mind.
Harris Usman.
So Harris Usman to bowl to Stanley Leach. Saffron Walden requiring 57 off 9. 6.33 and over, so Wanstead turned the screw a little bit. It's just pushed off his hip to a single. Bertie Scott a run a ball 41 so far. Plays that down to long off for single. And that will be a wide ball.
Another wide.
Another wide ball.
There's John Charles there.
I've not seen him. Stanley Leach airily down to long on where it's misfielded, and the batsmen finally wake up that there's a second run.
Yeah.
It was 2, yep. 2
Eventually.
done eventually when they thought about it. And that's gone long, long way, and that is 6 runs to Stanley Leach. I suspect that's going to be a lost ball, so
He's injured his ankle, so he won't
time to throw in a replay.
It's his girlfriend's birthday. They left her present at home. We had to go round her house, and then he got there and went, bring the present. I went, no.
And that's being turned round for a single. Afraid the wind's got up, so quite a bit of camera shake we've got at the moment. Or is there a child jumping all over the side screen? I don't know. That's gone aerial. That has every chance of being caught.
Tom Bentley.
And that is a superb catch by Tom Bentley.
Was that Bertie out?
So Bertie Scott has been caught by Tom Bentley. Batsmen have crossed.
That was amazing.
And that wicket has fallen on the end of the over.
Touch two.
These figures.
Harris Raza's figures are
No,
three.
Wisman, number 6. The guy who's just bowled.
Oh right.
One for
Hang on, I need to
Harry
identify.
Sutton is 1 over, no makings, 13 for 1.
13. Perfect.
Right now.
And who have we got going in?
I've no idea.
New batsman, please.
Bendy.
Excuse me.
Who's the new
gone
batsman?
into bat?
Walter Forsey.
Thank you.
Okay. So while he's taking strike, we'll give the viewers a replay
Right now, let me see.
of that. I think I've managed to get the catch on the wide-angle camera,
Looks like Bentley's going to bowl.
and that's very well taken and on camera.
Catch, wasn't it?
It was a brilliant catch here. I didn't think he was going to get there.
Well,
It's Tom Bentley. It's a good one of these players, you know, because they're switching these bowlers.
yeah. So Tom Bentley
Tom
to
Bentley's
replace
bowling.
Harris Raza. Harris Raza 3 overs, no mains, 1 for 15. Tom Bentley so far 2 overs, no mains, 0 for
See if
18.
we can not go for the first one for 4, either a hit 4 or a bias 4 or a something else 4.
So Wanstead fighting back here. Run rate required, still under a run a ball, but Saffron Walden now 3 wickets down. Free hit virtually there. And that has gone
Did we find out what he's done with it?
for 4 runs.
What did I just say about the first ball?
Yeah.
That wasn't a no ball as well, was it?
No, he didn't signal no ball.
No.
You told him specifically, didn't you? Yeah.
So 40 required. That's off the pad.
It's going to be a leg
For
by.
David Swain signals a leg by. On the wrong camera, but batsman take a single.
You replied to my text this morning because I let you know Nintendo's just turned up. I don't know, are you in Djibouti or you elsewhere?
That was a rubbish ball. That's
Absolutely.
what it deserved.
Yeah, well, he didn't really because he only got 1. Should have
Should have been out.
cashed in
Should
more
have been
on that.
through somebody else's bits.
So 97 for 3. And Stanley Leach firmly drives that, but there's a man down there at long on, so just the single.
No ball.
Oh, right.
I wanted to do the first 2.
I don't know why they haven't bowled Monty. Monty out.
No ball.
Yeah,
Is it because he's younger and he just overlooking?
No, because he opened the bowling for the under-19s in the last game.
That's driven out to extra cover and a single. So end of the over.
What's your 100 up?
Saffron Walden have moved on to exactly 100.
If I get down there before dark, I'll be there. No, haven't got a point yet.
Don't know, that's why I've held off for a minute. Nav's got it in his hand, I do believe, but
Although,
number 33, Nav.
I mean, to be fair, the East will never chase it.
So returning to ball from the town end, Nav Revy. Bowling to Walter Forsey.
No,
A lot of them are doing it now. Misfielded, and they've gone for two to Walter Forsey. No, a lot of the sides now are changing the bowler every 1 or 2 overs on the theory that they can disrupt if our lot do it, the Colchester boys. I know Essex have done it a fair bit. It's just pushed out to point for a single. Just 31 required now. 6.4 overs remaining. So,
I'm not worried about him getting into the full conference or,
that's well hit down to long on for just a single. So 4 off the first 3 balls this over.
as long as you have a decent season, do okay in the FA Cup and the FA Trophy, and have a chance of maybe winning the FA Cup.
Turned to square leg.
As a supporter, I'm fine with that.
Walter Forsey for his single.
hi Jigsaw. Hello, Joss.
Pushed out the mid-on for no run.
Their home games clash with West Ham home games. You see a big change in the level of the crowd.
So, end of the over, 105 for 3. 29 required at a rate of 4.83 of the 6 remaining overs.
Looks like Harris Razor's going to bowl again. And he's got the ball in his hand, so.
So, Tom Bentley, 3 overs, no maidens, 0 for 27. And Harris Raza, you say, Paulie?
Yes, it looks like Harris again.
Harris Raza, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 15 to date. A reluctant dog. He's obviously dropped a burger or something there.
He's as daft as his owner, that dog.
Sometimes you go days without seeing because he was up now before we were up in the morning.
Dot ball to Walter Forsey.
Whatever contract you've been on finished early. And you go, on, let's go to football. And we go off to
Further dot ball.
Arsenal, wherever. And I remember one Wednesday we went to West Ham to watch the Company's Cup or something like that. And it was against a Russian team.
And that's firmly struck out to deep extra cover for 2 runs.
Well, West Ham had a corner. Ball comes in.
safe.
So,
Same outcome, a further 2 runs.
where Sam get called, the ball comes in, big centre half, nods it out, and he just doesn't want it anywhere. He nods it out to someone specific.
So required rate now under 5 and over.
Cross, goal. Dead night.
7 wickets in hand, so I think Wanstead need to take wickets here. And that has been firmly driven out to deep extra cover. And just 2. So 6 off the over. They've got the required rate.
What I took was really showing about Martin Peters. My daughter used to have to deal with him at the Barclays Bank at Sheffield, and he came in and he was horrible, and clearly lost the plot.
Finish the over with a dot.
Yeah.
And everybody hopping on Nelson. 111 for 3 off 15.
So West Ham, what gods don't hire Cameo, yeah. Don't show the
It's Nav again, I think. He's taken his cap off, so.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you hear that? So they turned around and said, oh, Darren, someone called Mr. Moose might be coming down. Oh, you don't have to.
So Nav to bowl to Stanley Leach. And that has gone down to third man for 2 runs.
But, you know, remembering my geography and my geology, you know, if you've got, so it's a bit like all these floods we get now. People have paved everything over, so the water doesn't seep.
It's bludgeoned it down
And driven, you know,
to long on for a single.
you almost think that has been paved up there, because it goes in
So just 20 required now.
and ends up here. That's my theory, and I'll stick to it.
And that is top edged, and not sure who caught that ball
Caught by
in.
Harris Usman.
So Walder Forsey is caught by Harris Usman. I have a feeling that was outside camera range, but we'll see.
Yeah, thanks, I got that.
Oh, great. When I get one right.
No, I could see him, it's just when they're on the other side, it's a bit difficult.
So who have we got going in here?
Who's the batsman, please?
Max Wiseman. So incoming batsman Max Wiseman. I will throw in a replay, but I fear that I didn't get the catcher. Not quick enough, maybe, but we'll see. Certainly got the shot. Yeah, maybe I did get it.
Language.
So still 20 to win. 4.2 overs.
Language. People can hear you out here.
Right, so this is Max.
Max Wiseman.
Broadcast on YouTube live. And we'll get the voice detectors in.
And
Oh,
that
Walden.
is
Is that the new one?
castled first ball. Max Wiseman is bowled by Nav pretty comprehensively. So
Incoming is.
we'll identify the new batsman.
See their faces.
New batsman, please.
Hello?
New
Who's
batsman.
Jake,
So Jake Ratcliffe is the new batsman. Managed to identify that.
he's on a hat trick.
And he is indeed on a hat trick, but we'll replay the previous ball.
At least he's smiling.
So last minute fight here by Wanstead, not giving up the ghost at all. And a significant mess made of the stumps. So back live, Jack Ratcliffe to face his first ball, which is in fact a hat-trick ball. And every attempt to bowl him, to stump him, and it is simply a dot.
And that's the over.
Indeed. So Harris Arthur has finished with 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 21. So we need a new bowler. So 20 required, 4 overs remaining, 5 and over.
Who's going in after Jake?
We're having a discussion on who's going to bowl it, that's for certain.
Serious powwow going on.
Okay, it's Thinod bowling it after all that. He's taken his hat off, so.
Thinard Village to bowl 17th over. 4 to go. And Thinard Village to Stanley Leach. Stanley Leach on 17 or 16 deliveries. And that being firmly driven into the covers, but no run. Every ball for Wanstead going to be pressure. And a misfield, but just a single.
It took 4 to field that.
Hunting impacts, that's a good thing. Hunting impacts. Our lads, coach the lads, practice somebody chasing the ball and another following.
2 wickets and sort of lifted them.
Yeah. Oh, they're back in it. Went once to the back in this, no doubt it. And that is driven to extra cover single. I mean, push, the run rate will rise still here for every dot ball. It's 5.1 now. As leading at Stone's bat. It's work by wicket-keeper Bill Aldal. Not out. And that is sort of a soup shot that has been out. It's gone all the way for 4. So 14 runs required. Play a replay of that because that's worth watching it.
Hardly any boundaries, is it?
No, not
No, been very short of boundary all day. So back live again, 14 required of 3.1 overs. So Nav has finished his spell, 4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 18, very tidy. So again, we need a change of bowler.
It looks like Harris is coming back. Harry Wadley's about.
It's going to be Harris, yes, because Harris Raj is.
Yeah.
So Harris Wad to bowl.
Well, he's got the ball.
18th
but
over.
He's running in. No.
Oh, hang on.
No, Harris.
It's Wajid to bowl to Jack Mad. Jake. 14 to win, 6-7 over. So I think I have to say this is Saffron Walden's get to lose. But sensibly they should.
A good 15-20 runs short on
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And it wasn't cake straws and
No,
the
it's
usual
just
sort of
short.
thing, usual to runs.
130
But it's not yet to all the fat lady things. And we have a dot ball. So the rate now 4.94 and over. And every ball it'll push it up, every dot ball that is. And very cleverly bowled. And a single. So building up to a reasonable exciting finish here. Just needs Wanstead to put in a really tight over now, doesn't it? And that's going to be a tight finish. 1, 2, Leach.
What on earth did you have in there?
So 12 required. 12 off 15. And that has beaten the bat of Jake Radcliffe. Harith Wajid varying his pace here, I think, quite well.
Cold drinks, you could do some hot chocolate weather like this.
As they say when you say hot chocolate, I say I believe in miracles. And that has been pushed out for just a single. So just 3 off this over so far, which is below the required rate as far as the Saffron Walden boys are concerned. I'm feeling Stanley Leach might try and open his shoulders here. And he tries it, but just a dot. So fine over there by Harith Wajid for just 3. So 11 off 2 overs, 5.5 and over required. I have a feeling this is going to go right to the wire. Right to the wire. So Thinad Ballage 3 overs, no maidens,
Well,
not
let
for
me see you take his
21.
hat off.
And he is taking his cap off, so to bowl the final over from the pavilion end, penultimate over in the match, it'll be Thinad Ballage to Jake Radcliffe. And a runner ball would see Saffron Walden there. Game where there's been very few boundaries, extremely few boundaries.
It's nice shots. And when you think it's a big outfield,
It is a very big outfield. You've got to hit the ball quite hard to reach the boundary. And very well bowled by Thinod for a dot. Pushing that blue wide line, but inside. The rate now exactly 6 and over. Run a ball required. And a single to Jake Radcliffe. So 10 off 10's the equation. And a single to Stanley Leach. Well, the longer this goes without a boundary, the more I fancy Wanstead are going to perhaps clinch this ball in.
I'm not sure.
You're not so sure?
No.
That's blasted down the pitch, but I think that's only going to be a single, well picked up. And
Is that 8 to play?
it is now 8 off 8 is the required rate. Still run a ball.
We didn't score enough. I still don't think we're going to win it.
One shot.
There's such a shortage of fours though. And that's straight back to the bowler. Mistakenly flip cameras. So just a single again. So 127 for 5. Just 6 balls left of this game. 7 runs required. 7 to win is correct.
Now, who's bowling the last one?
What happens if it's draw?
I'm not sure that's true. I play under so many different sets of regulations that
Oh, well, point thing
I
is
think
bowling.
Harris is going to bowl it.
We should take over the cricket, though.
Harris Wajid has got 1 over left.
He's got 1 over left and he's standing there, but
And
he
he's,
hasn't got
well,
the
he's,
ball in his
he's
hand.
bowled 3 overs, no maidens, 0 for 13. So I would have thought Harris Wajid will conclude this game.
Is this the opener?
Yeah, the little left-hander. Yeah, it's Harris Wajid.
What's the equation, Phil?
7 off 6. And that's going to go for.
Good, Jake!
And they've got the 2 they needed to pull it back to a runner ball. So 5 off 5. Stanley Leach on strike, and he too has hit that for a 2. So if we had working, it would be swinging back and forth here.
I'm not going to say it until it's finished. I'll tell you about the game in a minute.
How many do we need?
With the time.
3 off 4.
3 runs.
And that's dropped. So
Single.
batsman go through for a single.
2 off 3. I don't really know if it quite carries.
So 2 runs required.
It would have been a good catch.
Darren, how many balls? 3.
3 balls to.
Go in front of the scorers, right
Can
there.
you please?
Right there.
You might as well bring the fielding, because if they score 4, they've won it anyway.
Yeah.
Bring the fielding. Cut the singles.
Shot,
So
Jake.
Jake Radcliffe has driven that down to long off for 4,
It's massively annoying.
and we have a Saffron Walden win.
We haven't got 12.
Oh,
Walden quite the runs on the ball, and we shall switch to put some card up. That doesn't appear to be working, so I'll show the batting card. And bowling. So the match is with a win for Saffron, who will meet Colchester and East Essex in the final. All that remains to say is thanks to Pauline Osborne for keeping me company here in the
welcome.
scoring, and to Darren Leach, who will be joining me again for the final.
his way to Cornwall.
who should be on his way to Cornwall, I gather. But that is